Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. Ever since Nnamdi Kanu had made that statement of using the oil and gas for bilateral relationship, of course, to Ghana and the neighboring country when Biafra is actualized, has created a lot of statements, reactions, criticism. Some were for, a lot were against, but it has also caused a lot of persons to ask some questions, some pertinent, some mischievous, but they all said the same thing. One person here, quickly, just a quick one, said that the oil and gas that Mazinam is talking about is sourced from where? It's not sourced from southeast. I'm sorry, it's not sourced from Niger Delta. That generates a lot of reaction. But that is actually what is taking us to this news, where during the Benue saga, a lot of persons were saying Benue is not Biafra, and some part of the government in Benue were saying that Mazinam Kanu should restrict his Biafra actualization within the five core Igbo speaking states. It has also generated a lot of reactions, a lot of fact finding. Now you're going to get a lot of information. In a moment, we're going to discuss about 20 indigenous Igbo speaking communities that are actually found across Niger Delta, middle belt of Nigeria, since there's been so much discussion. Of course, we would also leave it for you also to either criticize, come against, or also support. Whichever one is wrong, please, we will also meet in our comment section. You tell us how right or how wrong these communities are, and you can now verify or justify if Nnamdi Kanu is right in his judgment or not. But before we go into the full news proper, I'd like you to subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, a significant amount of the Igbos have been divided and distributed, as in redistributed into different states found within the neighboring states. Hence, you get to see things like Benue, and some persons in Benue saying Benue is middle belt. What has Biafra got to do with middle belt? But you find out all those in a moment. The Igbos have been reduced to 5 states as the core Igbo speaking states, while their brothers are dispersed all around. This has been seen in the recent rise in agitation from the IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. In this article, we'll be listing out indigenous Igbo speaking communities scattered across the south, the middle belt region of the country, Nigeria, where below is the list of Igbo speaking communities in the non-southeast states. All right, which means though South Indians are predominantly in the southeast, okay, which is the five core southeastern states. So, but in other parts of Nigeria, some in Niger Delta, that's the oil producing states, some in middle belt, in Benue, and some in some part of southwest and south, you get to see core Igbo speaking people. Some persons were saying that no, they actually migrated. They were not original citizens, they were not original locals, indigenous of that state, but migration of the Igbos over time have now made it look as if, in distorted history, made it look as if they're from there. But you find out if that is the case, or if truly they were distributed during state creation and are actually core Igbo persons. But let's continue with the news. Well, Rivers State is predominantly having more indigenous Igbo communities since they share borders with Igbo states. Below are the Igbo communities found in Rivers State. We have the Egbema, we have the Umoma, we have the Ndoni, we have the Ikwere, we have the Ekpeye, we have the Obibo, we have the Opobo, we have Ogba. Okay, now for Edo State, I'm practically picking the old eastern regions and those states that Nnamdi Kanu have mentioned. Please, all the states and local governments have mentioned, if they are not, please let's put in the comment section, say they are not and mention why they are not. Let's continue. Next is Edo State. This state has a big history about Igbos even before the colonial era. Edo has its share of indigenous Igbo speaking community. We have the Ekpeke or Igbo Akere, depending on which one you use. Ibeke, there's Ibeke, then they will have Igbo Akere, whichever one you're comfortable with. In truth, most folks don't recognize the prominent Archbishop Benson Idahosa and his wife are Igbos from Igbeke, found in Uwonde local government area, previously in Oyonwan local government area. Another prominent name who has ancestral ties to Ibake, Ibanke is late Samuel Odagbovo. Oh, their names are wonderful. Ogbobundia's mother. Most indigenous people of this state, exactly like Ika people in Delta State, bear mixed names that most often could pleasantly pass as Edo. Examples are Nduka Irabo, Jim Ovia, Omorege Nwanwane, Collins Edumaruse. Well, that means this is good. Ibanka, so Ibanka is actually Igbo. That's nice. Ibanka, but let's continue. Delta State. This state is a big bone of contention, with most indigenous people claiming not to be Igbos, but Delta Igbos. Funny enough, they are entirely of Igbo stock. Here are the indigenous Igbo communities found in Delta State. We have the Ika, Ndukwa, Ukwani, Aniocha, Oshimili. Therefore, Bayelsa State, wow, communities like Osikwenike, Abueto, and Eke Okpokiri in Sagbama area of Bayelsa are entirely Igbos of Ukwani origin and are a part of Anyoma clan, despite being found in Bayelsa State. Therefore, Cross River State, we have the Isobo, which is in Abi local government area of Cross River State. Cross River State has its fair share of indigenous Igbo speaking community. The former governor of Cross River State, Leo Imoke, and his wife are from Abi local government area. That I know that the wife is I think she speaks Igbo, but what I don't know is if Leo Imoke is Igbo. What I do know is that he's from Abi, but I think that's basically what we know. But for Ikot Udoekan, which is also in Akwa Ibom State, is they are predominantly said to be home for Igbo community. That's Ikot Udoeka. For Benue, we have the Igbos indigenous to Benue State are mainly in Ado, Ojo, Obi, Akpoko local government area of the state. They were in existence before the inception of Christianity in Nigeria. The indigenous Igbos found in Benue State include Umuezokoha, Umuezoka, Oriozo, Umugara, Amaika, and Amaezekwe are all found in Izi, Izangbo, and Effium communities. These were people who would have naturally existed in Ebonyi State, but due to how the Nigerian government then eased them into Benue in order to stifle the population growth of the eastern states, that's southeastern states. Aside the Iza speaking group, especially the people of Umueze Okoha, which has over 300 villages. If an estimated census of indigenous Igbo-speaking villages in Benue State, aside for Umueze Okohazie, take into account, you'll be estimated altogether over 600 villages in Benue. That's a big one. Now you now understand why Nnamdi Kanu is insisting that Benue should be added. This is evident as three of the largest markets in Benue are all in Igbo-speaking parts. These markets are Inikiri, Ichari, Ida, Iduokpe. There are also some Igbo-speaking Idoma towns in Benue State, particularly in Ado and Akpoko local government area. For Kogi State, indigenous Igbo-speaking communities in Kogi State are found especially in Ibaji, Igbalamela, Odolo local government area. They are Eke Avorogu community that has villages such as Nwajala, Umuaye, Uboli, Umeze, Ozara, Umoye, and several more. Well, the existing of Oni of Ife, the existence of Oni of Ife Oba Adeyeye Aniton Ogunwasi Ajajatu also informed us that his kingdom was originally conquered by the Igbos until they were liberated by Moremi. He also revealed that there is an indigenous Igbo community that still survives in Ile-Ife till today. That's quite an interesting one. But the question now is, some persons are saying that's not true, that the migrating effect of Ndibo is what took them to those communities.